Hi, I'm Linda from Scullywag, and I'm going to show you how I use Buffer to schedule my social media. So you can see you have the free account, which allows you to have 3 social media accounts and 10 scheduled posts for each of those accounts. I personally use this one here, the Awesome plan at $10 a month. That allows me to add 10 social media accounts and schedule up to 100 posts for each of those accounts. So that is potentially 1,000 posts I can have scheduled. And then they have the business plans for bigger organizations that allows you to add many more social media accounts and have up to 2,000 scheduled posts for each of those accounts and to bring in additional team members. However, this is mine, it's just me running it, so the Awesome one does me. Over here on the left hand side you can see the social media accounts I have on here. I have some for my astrology ones and some for my social media ones. I have Facebook, Google+, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter on here. You can move these around to suit however you want to be. I'm just going to move this one down here so it's with the other social media ones. That's another one I can move, and that one. So I've got all my astrology ones together. I don't use Buffer so much for Facebook, simply because Facebook doesn't really like you leaving Facebook. So if we go over here to my social media page, I can come up here and I can post something. I can share a photo, create an offer, start a live video, do different things, or I can go over to publishing tools and I can actually create a post. I can write something here, about what I don't know, and then I can publish that, or I can actually schedule it, which will ask me when I want to schedule it for and what time. This time zone is set for my time zone. From memory, it takes that from my computer clock, my desktop, and just say, so this is for today, the 13th of March. Just say I wanted to run this, but I don't want it to show up again after the 30th of March. I could put this in here and actually put 30th of March, not to show, and it won't show in being shown in news feeds, which would be really handy if you have something for, say, a competition or something time sensitive. I'm going to cancel out of that. You can also backdate something, or you can just save it as a draft. But back to Buffer. If I want to add a social media account, I just come here. I actually can't because I've already got my 10. If I wanted to, I could upgrade. And as it says, I can remove one if I want. So I'm going to get rid of the Facebook one. This is a social media one. I'm going to go to settings and just hit remove. It will ask me whether I want to. Yes, remove this page. And you can see I've only got 9 here now. So if I go to add a social media account, it'll ask me what I want to add. So, and it does have my Facebook profile here because all your business pages should be connected to your actual profile. But I want a Facebook page. I can actually add a Facebook group, which is rather good. So I'm going to add Facebook group for my astrology site, and you can see there it's a group. I could have added the social media one again, and I possibly should have, but I didn't. Let's just go to the Buffer dashboard. And even though this is a Scullywag astrology one, it does have my photo there because that's my personal one. Okay, so these are scheduled posts I have in advance. When I do my horoscopes up on a Sunday, I post this, which takes you to the page on my website, and then I do each of the zodiac signs. So that's 12 each. So you can see why I need the awesome plan because 10 is just not going to do it for me. This is actually my schedule. I prefer to have it like this so I can see what I have scheduled, but you can choose not to have that visible. Over here in settings is the posting schedule. So you can see that this is my schedule. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday are not as prolific, and Saturday. If I decided that nope, I don't want to post on Saturdays anymore, I could just turn that off and it still keeps it in there, but it won't post on there anymore, and I can just turn it back on. If I want to add a new post, just say on Fridays at 10 p.m. I want to add a new post, so I go here and go to Friday, or it could be weekends. Actually, let's do weekends. Weekends at 10 p.m. I want to add a posting time. So you can see Saturday and Sunday has been added. And what's really interesting, I already had one for 10 p.m. on Sunday, but it added it anyway. If I just wanted to do, say, Friday, you can see it's added down there, and I can just remove it like that at any time. I actually have the time zone set for Chicago. I'm actually in Brisbane, Australia, but the majority of the people that follow my astrology blog and Twitter are mainly American. So I have it set up for an American time zone. Chicago's not smack bang in the middle, but it's in the middle-ish. So I selected that. Okay, we have link shortening. When you put in a link for something, and I'll show that soon, it will actually shorten the link. If you don't want link shortened, you would select that, whereas Buffly, which is the buffer one, will shorten it. And then Bitly is another one that's very popular. If you've got an account with them, you would use that one, and JMP must be another one. You could use that. Team members, that's for the bigger organizations that might have 5, 10 or however many people they've got on the team, or contributing. You could add or take somebody off. You can reconnect. This is when you're having trouble with it. It says try reconnecting this account if posts are failing. Sometimes a post will fail. I find maybe once every couple of months one might fail. Why, I'm not entirely sure. And you can pause the queue. This is particularly good for people that maybe they've got content that some event has happened, that event's no longer going ahead, or maybe it's something that's happened in the media that means that you no longer want to post about that. You would pause the queue, or you can actually empty the queue. And over here is where you can actually remove an account. Okay, analytics. So analytics will give you the latest posts that you have posted. So you can do the most popular by most retweets. You can see this one here had three retweets. It's a bit of a tongue twister. 1 like and 6 clicks. And over here, normally my post, I've got about 2.5 followers, 2.5k followers on Twitter. So when I post something, it's usually 2.5k potential people seeing it. Whereas because this got three retweets, there was a potential of 317,000 people seeing it. You can see this one 2.6, which is just my normal one retweet. Here's one 4.1k. Most clicks. So you can see this one here, 6 clicks. This one did really well for some reason. And by the same token, you can go by the least popular, or you can go by all post, image post, video post, link post, text post, retweets. wonder if it will actually show up my retweets, because I usually retweet directly from the Twitter account. No, it doesn't look like it's going to, whether it will do that. No. Okay, so that's that. One thing I really do love about Buffer, it has Pablo, which is an editing program. So just say you want to do a quote. You would come here, you can look up images. So let's have a look up stars. This actually accesses places that allow you to use their photos without attribution, or they're royalty free in that. So you can use these for commercial processes. You can see here Unsplash, 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 which is a very nice site to get graphics from. There will probably be some Pixabay. I can't see that one because of, that might be a Pixabay, but you can see this is a Pixabay one. And they might also, looks like they're just using those two at the moment. So let's go for that. It's a pretty boring one actually. You also have the option to upload your own image. So I've just uploaded an image and it will come up here. Takes a little bit of time, particularly depending on how big the photo is and how many kilobytes there might be in it. If it is too big, it will actually come up with a message saying that it is too big, but it's actually brought this one up. Depending on what you want to do, like we can reposition this. You can see that's the full photo there. We can move it if we want to have that moon there or over here. If it was a particularly tall photo, we could move with that too. So I'll do that there. And you can choose what size and what different font types. You can have how you want it adjusted, whether you want it in the middle, to the left or right. You can have italics, particularly good for quotes, or you can bold the text. And you can change the colour. They've got suggested colours here for that will go well with it. They have the image colours, and you can put in your logo colours too. So just put that there, and you can move that up and down. You can see this line will actually tell me when I'm in the centre, and same with horizontally too. Where are we? Takes a little minute, and my hand isn't the steadiest. There we go. So you can see that is in the crosshairs. So put that there. That's the body, the header. We can have it small or large. And then you can have a caption. I usually put my website there. If you have a logo, you can actually put that in there too, and you can choose whether you want to show it or not. You can see the little logo would be there, or remove it, and you can make it a big logo or a small logo. And I'm not sure about the radius, what that's all about, to be honest. And you can move that about, but I don't want it there. You can also, that photo I uploaded, the default is light contrast, but you can have it so it's got none. Sometimes it's kind of too bright, so you might choose to go for light contrast. You can do heavy contrast, a light blur, grayscale, and then they have these tints, red, green and blue. So it gives you a bit of option. The size is up here. This is the size that I use to put on my social media. When I'm sharing something to Instagram, to Google+, Tumblr, most places I use this size. I believe it's 1035 by 1035. And what I do, I actually put it in here. If we go over here, if somebody goes to share it, I have it set up. So, oh, it's 1024 by 1024, so that they can select that. And there's the other options. That's the one there, the 900 by 500. This size is what they recommend for Pinterest. And this is the one they do for Twitter, because it's a 2:1 ratio. And, you know, for Twitter, you would probably want to adjust that somewhat. And just say we want to share that on Twitter. Where are we? I come down here. I can download it. I download for Pinterest, because apparently Pinterest does very much care about what the image is called. This will automatically, as far as I can tell, call this Pablo. The image will be downloaded here. I'll download it, Pablo 3. Whereas when you go to upload an image to Pinterest, it will actually want, it helps with SEO apparently if Pinterest has, there we go. So you can see it's Pablo 2. Whereas I would want something like, oh, planet, blah, blah, blah. And now it's downloaded again because I was so impatient. Reset it. So it's what it was first off. Yes, but if we want to share this to Twitter, you can go to send to Twitter here. This automatically connects to your Buffer account. It does take a little minute. Okay, so, so Scullywag Astro and Scullywag. Oh, interesting. It's automatically got that group highlighted. Over here, I actually have these ones as the default. And so it has automatically, when I've done this, said you want to share to this. And you put some text there. This is my latest post. Check it out. And you might put in some, whatever it is, my post. Planet, and it comes up, you can see there, with some options, but I just want planet. And if I want to put in a link, oh, come on, you'll see how it does shorten that, because I have that selected to be the Buffly, and it comes up with suggested media that I can use, things from that page. But I don't want those, I want this. You can have, I'm not sure how many, I think you can have 4 on there. And then you can add it to the queue. So we'll add it to the queue. But there is also the option to share immediately. And Facebook. Why is it necessary to manually enter a message for Facebook? So blah, blah, blah. And we can say, no, we don't want those ones. We want it to go to Google and put some text there, and Instagram and Pinterest. With Pinterest, it will actually ask you which board do you want it on. And ask you to put some text in. And your image URL, which is very important for Pinterest. Instagram, put some text. Oh, it reminds me, I've got to go and show you how it looks there. And as I said, you can add it to the queue, you can share it now, or you can schedule post. So you can say, okay, I want to post this on the 30th of March at midday. And you would just schedule it, and you can see here it's got my time zone, so I don't forget. but I don't want to do any of that, so I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to go here. Where is my schedule post? Twitter. I think I had it. I don't really want to schedule that one. I've changed my mind. Oh, that's the analytics. The content is what's coming up. So I don't really want that. So I'm going to delete it. If I want to move it to the top, I can move it to the top. So you'll be able to see that's been put at the top of the thingo for 10:30 a.m. I don't want to do that though. I want to delete it. Or I can edit it. Change the time, the day. I'm just going to delete it. It'll ask you to confirm. And then I'll go do that for the Facebook too. It's kind of like, no, I don't want that. Okay, so Twitter. So you can see I've got some already scheduled in here. Tomorrow I've got some scheduled for 12 a.m. first thing in the clock ticks over, and then 10:05. So I'll just go through, add to queue. This is a little bit boring, adding things to queue and that, but it just saves me having to do it. It comes up with a little message. I'll go back and add these ones. And that is Buffer. Like I said, I really like it. If I go to add that one again, it'll tell me that, no, you can't do that. Whoops, you've already done it. So it's like, ah. And then go to the next one. And you can see I've got something scheduled for 11:56, 12:07, 12:08, 1:30 before I start that thing again. So if I want to add something new, actually that would probably be the best way to do it. If I want to add something new and I wanted to do it now, I would probably do it here. Let's do this one. This is just a list of things I have because I use them quite often. This is the one I would use for Twitter usually. So copy. Need to change those dates. So change that to a capital M, and then use that image. Still finishing up. I'll put in the URL. I could actually use this one here, but I like to upload it myself, and I'm just going to share that now. Great, the post has been shared. If you come over to analytics, and there you can see, you can have a good look at it. Or you can actually come down to a slot and add a tweet for that time, put in your photo, what you want to share. So I need to do 4, so I'll add that one. And you can put in new ones all the time. It's just, I find it helpful to kind of share the same things over and over. Twitter, because it's so short-lived, it's not quite as spammy to share your things as often. I possibly should share more on Facebook and that as well, but it's Twitter that I really push a lot of these things. And that's about it. If you come over here, you can see they're all scheduled. There they are. If I decide I want to put those down the bottom, I just put that in there, and that puts that down there. Reorder it any way you want. Oh. That's going to make a liar out of me. Put that in there. Oh, we've got one missing there, so that needs to be in there. That needs to be there. Oh, yep.